All right, welcome back to another episode of Procrastination Podcast where we talk about anime life and everything in between. My name's Matt.
I'm Robert.
I'm Alonzo.
And we're back with another episode. Basically, this time, sticking with the life part because we got a lot going on anime-wise later on this week. And we'll be bringing y'all some live coverage and some other things that we got going on our social media and on the YouTube with all that going on. So we'll be going to Ocean City, baby. Yeah. So it's Maryland's version of Venice Beach. No, I'm playing. I don't know. I have no clue about this place at all.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
But there is a beach, so can't be that bad. So has a good convention city, and like I said, it's an anime convention there, Anime Ocean City. So hopefully we'll see some of y'all there. If not, then maybe at the next one. But we'll definitely be doing some nice cosplays, trying to do some skits, maybe some karaoke. I don't know. a little bit of everything will be done at Anime Ocean City. We're pretty excited because it's the first convention in a long while. But I'm curious, how are you guys feeling about it? What are your expectations for us going to the first convention in a long time?
I mean, you and I were looking at the schedule, or at least what they had on the website, and yeah, it seemed, very, very few things listed up there. And so, on one end, you'd think that that'd be a bad thing, but I don't know. I'm kind of thinking that that's a good thing, right? I feel like now less amount of people are going to care about talking to us. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed like in those other conventions, everyone was doing something and everyone's moving constantly that you couldn't really sit and talk to anybody or do anything, right? Other than those little event things. So it seems like that is one thing that I'm kind of ready for. I think that's going to be good. And yeah, like you said, we're going to try do some new things, trying some new equipment and stuff, and that may be cool, and that may be fun. We'll try that, and then the beach, because we're at Ocean City, some nice beach pics, so that may be good too. That's gonna be the first convention by water, so I think that's gonna be nice. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
I just hope the weather's nice. Though I've looked at the weather so far. It seems like it's going to be a little bit on the cool side Saturday. That's fine with me. Going to be dressed up, so can't complain about that. But yeah, looking forward to it. First one in a long time. I haven't heard of Anime Ocean City before, so hopefully it's not too big in the sense it's just going to be overwhelming. But I guess you guys did the research and maybe not a lot of stuff going on. I did see an article recently about a anime convention that happened. I can't remember where. I think it was Colorado or someplace. But essentially, it was like a big scam. They had everybody set up. They had the vendors in place. Everybody paid, and there was no security, no ushers, no nothing. People were just meandering in and out. There was no service or anything. So hopefully it's not like that. I think this has a history. So history going back in a sense that people have gone to it before. So hopefully it's not going to be too bad and we can have some fun with it.
Right. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be exciting. Like I said, try and get to see another part of the U.S. Part we never thought we'd be going to, but it's maybe the fun of it. So see something a little different, like I said, first convention in a long time. And then, like I said, try out a new cosplay. If I got new cosplays to try out, so a group cosplay. The pics, I'm already just imagining just legendary pictures, man. The ocean breeze. Oh my gosh, come on. Sunset come on, man. You can't make it up, man. It's gonna be so perfect. It's gonna be so gorgeous. I just can't help but be excited. It's just the first one in so long. I'm just ready to go and ready to meet some new people and hopefully, make some more connects and just hang out with some more anime fans, and have some more just good vibes and good people to be around. Because that's what it's been so far. All the conventions you've been to, it's been chill, good energy, no craziness going on. all just good, happy fun and little and otaku fun, I guess. And so hopefully more of that. That's all I want, more of that. So yeah.
I do want to interject real quick. I just have somebody to shit on. Gcosplay.com. I'm shitting on you. I put
Get
an
him.
order in for a cosplay over a month ago. I sent them an email last week. I ain't heard nothing. My costume ain't here yet, so I am shitting on you. You are on Alonzo's shit list of the week, of the century. Stone Cold Lock.
Of the century.
Mm,
Well deserved, man.
right?
Look at this man what he paid for.
That is true. That is
That,
weird. Mm.
that's the one thing I'm like, I was, we haven't, I don't know. I guess we haven't looked out for more obscure cosplays before now, and so like now trying to find some, I guess, more difficult to find stuff has been like you're trying to shop on some sketchy sites, like, and I was like, I'm surprised because I felt like there was probably before we got into like cosplay and stuff, I thought there was like maybe a better database or a better like storefront, especially online at this point in the States. Like it's how many conventions across America. I thought there'd be at least like a few US based cosplay stores that weren't like an arm and a leg, for their cosplays. And like it's pretty much just Amazon. And then if they don't have it, then you basically have to buy it from like somewhere told out the country, like China or something. So like that was crazy to me. Like I did not expect that. And it is kind of annoying to be like, okay, now I gotta order this ish like 3 months in advance to give myself a chance at just in case it doesn't show up in the time frame that is expected to, and that ish is annoying.
Right.
But moving on to our main topic for the day. We're, like I said, I guess this is kind of lifelike. It's kind of like a sci-fi life question. And basically, we're talking about what version of yourself from an alternate timeline would you want to talk to and why? And I know this is a very, very weird question, but I don't know. I got to thinking about it, and I just felt like, we always talk about, these timelines. We watch these sci-fi movies, people time travel, all this sort of stuff, and I just wonder like how life would have been if we made certain pivotal decisions a different way, right? And at least that's how I interpreted the question. I was like, I wonder how it would be. Like, could it possibly be better, or could it be dramatically worse? And it definitely could be dramatically worse. So so I'm like, I'm curious about that, and wanted to pose that question to you guys. What version of yourself from any timeline would you want to talk to? And why?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about this, and I don't know. I was trying to think like, okay, truly, what regrets do I have, and if I could go against those regrets, that'll be the perfect parallel universe, right?
Right.
So this led me to a story that's kind of long, so bear with me a little bit, right? So when I was I don't know, I was young. I want to say I was like 13, 14 or whatever. I was online a lot and doing a lot of stuff I shouldn't have been doing online a lot, right? And and part of it was like all these messenger board stuff, right? So
Mm,
like, there was like, I don't know, there's like all these chat room stuff. Like you remember like IMVU and all these other chat rooms.
right.
Well, one of the chat rooms I found one time was like, you remember when LimeWire was a thing? Like, well,
Yeah.
when LimeWire died, something came up that was called FrostWire. Well, FrostWire had a chat room in it, and you
I
could
did not know
chat.
that.
Yeah, and you could chat to just random people that were on this site or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. And I said some. I just would say a bunch of dumb shit, right? Because I'm 13, 14, saying dumb shit, right? And then, so then one time, it a pop up came up, and it was like, oh, well, this person directly messaged you. Here's this person's message directly to him. I was like, I didn't know this was a feature or whatever. So so then I started talking to this random lady, and she's like, oh, I like, I like the things you like, or whatever she said. I don't remember, right? And she was like, what you said was funny, or whatever. and and I was like, okay, well, do you normally message up here, or do you do anything else? And she was like, well, I normally message on my Facebook, and it links her Facebook thing, right? So I don't again,
Wee woo, wee woo.
right?
Wee woo.
Send her to her Facebook, and she's just like yeah, it looks like young white lady, right? So yeah, again,
Wait,
I mean,
wait, don't, no, no, don't slide, young white lady.
like girl, my age,
Okay.
probably, or maybe a little bit older, but like my age. Yeah, all of them are red flags. Every single bit of this story is red flags. Okay.
Okay.
So all right,
Sure.
so she sends me the thing, right, and then I don't know if it was immediately, but very soon after that, every bit of the conversation turned very sexual. Okay. And she's saying all these things, right? And I
Okay.
don't know anything. So I'm just like, kind of thing. Like, I cannot respond to her at all, right? But I'm just like, oh, okay, like, it seems like you're in one of those moods today, kind of thing, right?
Those moves today.
But
That's definitely one of the worst responses you could put.
But generally, it was like every time, like we would message just almost daily, not really daily, but like, you know what I mean, like, and we would just ask about our days or whatever, and then every now and then she'll just, well, most of the days she would go into this sexual mode, whatever. Anyways, I never really did anything with it, right? Again, but then one day, my brother and his friends, they were like over for that day, and they noticed the messages that was coming through my Facebook, and immediately one of my brother's friends, Justin, read it like out loud. I'm sitting here, I'm embarrassed, whatever, and he starts responding back to her like same level of sexualness,
Same
right?
energy.
Yeah. She says all this nasty stuff there or whatever, and and she, unlike, well, I mean, if you would have think if you would have really thought about it, you'd have been like, oh, that's not him, so he's messing with me or something, right? But no steps skipped. She was just like, got him, finally got him into this. This is what I've been waiting for, right? She's like, yes. She was like so excited about it, right? And I was like, oh man, what have you done? What have you done? And now I have to be at this level for the rest of this conversation, and this is hard. Because like he like left like right after that. He was like, peace.
What a dude.
Right. Yeah, so now I anyways, so she, that happened, and then soon after she was like, not that conversation, but maybe a conversation afterwards, she was like, I'm coming to Virginia soon, right? So I can come in.
That's crazy.
and I can we can finally like meet, and I can do all these things to you, right? Is what she's saying. And I was like, okay. This at this point, okay, I gotta make this. This is getting too real. So now let me make sure that it's clear that this is a fake thing. Okay, right? So I was like, all right, well, I have a girlfriend, a real girlfriend, and I didn't mean to this to get like this, but whatever. I'm sorry, and whatever. This is what I did. And she's like, I hate you, and all these other stuff that she starts going crazy, right? And then she deletes her Facebook account.
Right? The
whole thing deleted.
That's crazy.
Right. And I was like, damn, that's nutty, right?
This man breaking hearts.
So here's the thing. I want so generally. So the thing that I would love to have this story be more interesting, and this is me in general. This is the parallel universe I want, right? The one where I do the thing that makes the thing more interesting, right? Like because my brother and I, we could have kept this going, right? We could have found this and I could have to catch a predator her. You know what I mean? Like we could have we could have
Or you could have
like,
just got predatored.
I'm saying I wouldn't have gone alone. I'm not stupid. I was like my brother and his gang friends. We could have gone over to whatever address, random address, and one of two things could have happened, right? Either one, she was an old lady, and we could berate her deservingly, right? Yell at her for a long time, right? Or two, she was a young lady. She's a girl my age, and then the story would have been very interesting.
The whole squad over. That's terrible. No.
A whole other story.
And this is what I'm saying.
Gosh.
I think my only regrets sometimes is like I don't do the thing that I feel is the interesting thing. I don't know. Like I want to do the thing, but then I don't do the thing. And there's so many times where I'm like, I want.
It's crazy.
I wish that I could talk to the me that's like, hey, I've been turning up. Like I've been doing all this crazy stuff, and my life is insane. Like I have all these stories, and I live for these stories. Like I want. That's what I want.
And I live in a box.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, I got my kidney stolen from a white lady from Indiana.
No.
Yeah. Like why can't I have those stories? Hey, I'll listen to this basic life. This basic.
I'd rather have my kidney than that story. For sure.
I got two kidneys.
An argument?
Come on.
Hey, look, man. I want my system in order. Golly, man.
That's crazy.
That is nuts.
Why did Indiana have to catch a stray? Didn't it just
Indiana
be nice to you? Hospitality?
No, I don't know. I don't remember where she was from. The whitest thing I've seen recently was Indiana. So Indiana.
Understandable.
That's fair. I can't argue with that logic. I mean, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Wow, fudge.
Yeah, I don't understand people wanting to have exciting lives. That's just, it seems like too much of a hassle. You gotta remember all the stories. You gotta keep up with all the happenings. Life goes by. You're flying by the seat of your pants, basically. Like it's too much, man. I don't want that for my life ever at all. I don't see why you would want it for yours.
You want to almost catch an STD? You don't want that? You don't want the exciting life?
Almost you almost caught a DED, dude. What the
like that is a joke.
Like that, I mean, that is
true.
Like that lady deleted her ish off of just you being like, no, I'm good. Deleted her ish, bro. She had probably family, friends from like ages on that ish. She's like, no, I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
None of that. Right?
Yeah, I was definitely dead. I was definitely
100%.
Sex all you death ratio 100%.
Stop all that.
You would have led your brother's friends and your brother to that same fate, man. Would have got all of y'all effed up, man. She might have had a legion with her. You don't know what she had.
It's good
But
point.
it would be interesting to hear from that version of you. Though I would love to hear the follow up of that ish. But I'm glad you didn't get
Right.
your kidney taken or deaded. Nice. Glad.
No, Robert is a good storyteller. Having those stories, it will make for a pretty good time.
It would.
So I don't
I'm
know.
saying.
I mean, your table at the maid cafe will be popping, man. Like, that job.
It's not too
And
late, Robert. 30 wants to new 21. So get to stepping, man. Get
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Right.
it is.
Yeah. I need to go and find my exciting life. No.
Mhm.
I'm past that.
You're not
Bones
too old to
cracking. I'm
date
past
school age
that.
women. You're not too
Yeah.
old to date school age women.
Yeah.
You can date school age.
Look. I assumed Alonzo was not saying that. That's what
No, I was not.
at first.
Well,
So it's
Matt,
not too late. I'm like, no,
get
it's
out
too
of
late.
here.
It's too late for that. I don't want to be on the other end of that. No, I don't.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Lord have mercy. I'm gonna just go on ahead to mine. Mine's not as exciting because I am not an exciting person, but I am a pessimist. I will say that the ultimate pessimist. So I sort of looked at this like the multiverse, like infinite Alonzos out there, and I don't think there's any Alonzo that's happy.
Oh
Like
my god.
me being successful and happy, that's just like a fallacy. It cannot happen. If that were to happen, the multiverse would fold in on itself and everybody would die. Like, so.
The man says not successful with these degrees right behind him.
Yeah.
Those are just paper on the wall. They don't mean shit. It don't bring me happiness. It don't bring me joy.
No Alonzo, though?
No Alonzo, no. None of them are successful and happy. It can't be done. It cannot be done. So, and like for me, I'm a fat, ugly bastard, dumb as well. Let's see what else about me. Nah.
Okay, thank you for stopping.
There's many reasons why I'm not successful and happy, but I gotta say, I don't find much fulfillment in my professional career. But in like growing up, I did have many dreams of different jobs, like being a baker, being a pilot, being a NASCAR driver of all things, being a football player, a teacher, even joining the army. And so I sort of looked at all those career paths I could have taken for myself, and being in the army was one that sort of piqued my interest because right now I know for a fact there's no way I would have been able to be successful in the army. Like I would have punched somebody in the throat. We would have been throwing hands all day. I would have been dishonorably discharged. Like I hate harsh authority, and if you make me do harsh physical things as well, we gonna have problems. And then I'm not a people person, so having to sleep in small bunks with many different people, having to interact with them from all different parts of the world, I'm just like, that is not the scene for me. But it did one time was in my mind, like, I don't have anything else going for me. I should probably look into the military. I was thinking about the army. Like my half brother, he joined the army, and he did it for a little while. My father was in the army for a little while. So I was like, if they can do it, why can't I? So I would want to know if there was a version of me that could get over my hangups essentially and be part of something bigger. Because I do have massive respect for people in the military. Like they are sacrificing, putting their lives on the line, to sacrificing their lives to protect the home front, basically. So they are doing something bigger than themselves, and I have deep admiration for that. But I would want to know if there was any chance of me ever going the army route, and seeing if that would be good for me, like good or bad, just to see what would happen. I would want to meet that Alonzo. See, well, hey, you joined the army. Was it good? Did you become successful? Did you make it all the way up to the top rank? Are you're officer? You're something now. How has it been? You got the pension. You got the Hellcat. You got everything going for you.
Mm.
Or was it bad? Do you have PTSD? Do you have trauma? Do you have people who you know who died? Do you carry that with you? Oh, did I myself die? Do I just go to other universe and see a gravestone for myself? I don't know.
Mm.
So I would want to know like how would it all play out so I can have a bit of closure on that path of my life.
Yeah. I feel like career paths, that was another one that was like big on like, okay, can I make a parallel universe here? But yeah, I mean that's a huge one, yeah. And army is something very similar that I was thinking as well went to before I went to NSU. Yeah, and luckily, well, I'll say luckily, unluckily, whatever you want to call it, right? My brother, he was recently like fresh out of boot camp when I signed up for college, and yeah, he was like, "No, it's not for you. No, you're not going to army. No." I was like, "What do you?" I was like, I can do what I want, but yeah, I mean, he similar to your things too, Alonzo. Like, yeah, I'm not great when it comes to like physical type punishment. Like, I'm not great with that. Like, that is where, yeah, and yeah, I think that would be great though to see like, imagine the super like. I don't know, like yeah, the authoritarian Alonso,
He just rises the ranks to actual dictatorship. That's what
right?
would happen.
It's like Sergeant Alonzo Jenkins. That's crazy, Which is like, tells you what to do. Like, man, I feel like that'd be crazy.
Imagine a 6'7" just jacked Alonzo. That man would be intimidating. What the freak? I ain't
Right?
saying ish to that captain. Yes, captain. Yes, captain.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, get the free. I'm not saying nothing, and that would be interesting for sure. Like on a lot of facets. I mean, I feel like it'd be a stark contrast to your current personality. You would have been shaped a little differently because you would have had no choice but to adapt to that kind of lifestyle and mindset. So whether that would have been for the better, I don't know about that, but it would be definitely interesting to see. But yeah, like I think that would be something where it's like it has such a variety of ways it could go, really good or really bad. So I mean, it definitely could be. I leave it to you to be philosophical, but it could be something that you see things you wish you never saw, and then end up being like, well, I definitely dodged that bullet. But you never really know, and I guess that's the whole point of the question is if you could know. But I mean, yeah, I think for the vast majority of people, that is an optional that they think about at some point, and like I said, some people are cut out for it, and some people aren't. Like you said, I'm also not good with like super authoritarian, like sort of places, and that's like my brother did not go to the army, but he did do a fraternity, and he was like the same thing. He was like, nah, this is, you don't want to do this, and for the same exact reasons, like that sort of authoritarian thing, and like the whole physical punishment sort of thing. He's just like, nah, made me want to punch them in the throat, like Alonso said, and
Mhm.
and I ain't got the energy for that. I don't got the patience nor the just the wherewithal to just deal with that part of it. So I definitely couldn't do that. But I don't know. I don't know if a lot of people have that mentality anymore to just put up with that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, it would definitely be an alternate version of you, and that would be interesting to see. And yeah, I guess that kind of segues into mine. Of course, I feel like mine is kind of different from both of y'all's in that it kind of stems from a joke. So there's a I guess maybe not a joke, but there's a common saying, and anyone that's ever been in an African household will be familiar with this. And if you do something wrong, you don't get good grades, or you just you do whatever thing that your African parent deems inappropriate. One of the most common threats is, I will send you back to Africa.
Mm,
and I'm like, most of the times that is a threat. That is not a good thing.
mm,
The thing is that you're taking for granted the luxuries of American lifestyle and the things that they sacrifice to get their family here and established here. And I mean, I'm curious though. How would it have been if I spent my formative years in Nigeria instead of America? Like, I feel like the cultural difference is so vast, and I do feel like there's some things that would be the same. Like, I feel like my mindset is kind of probably been about the same. Like, my mindset throughout school was kind of like an escapist mindset. Like, I got to get through this to get done with this,
mm,
and I feel like that would probably still be the same. And I still think I'd be pretty diligent in my work and my studies and stuff like that. But like, it's funny to me now because like my dad as an adult man, as an adult African dad, is like now he's like he talked about Nigeria as like, oh, it's way better than this place. It's vastly better than America. Like it's way more peaceful. It's way more fresh everything. It's way better for your health. People are nicer. All this stuff. He's like, it's just better. So now I'm like, that punishment could that have turned into a blessing in disguise, right? And like, could I have gone there and just had this fantastic cultural experience, been super close to that side of my family where I'm not close with them really at all because, I haven't, been near them for long periods of time for decades. And like, how would that have made me into a different person? And would I even like be in America still? Like, would I have just stayed there and never even came back to America, sort of thing? So I definitely always wonder like how that would be, um, versus being growing up here. So I don't know.
man, I wonder if you're like, you know, would you have still went the medical route, right? Or like, would something else influence you to do something else? Like I don't know. That would be interesting. Like, wonder like truly how much influence your peers have on you, right? It's
Right.
like shaping so much of your life or whatever. Like, who knows? You could have been soccer star, you know?
Right? See, that's what I missed out on. That's the thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I would have been in the league right now. Wouldn't even be
Mm-hmm.
on this podcast,
Right. And
So,
make
but
it
like,
bang. Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know anything much about Nigeria because that's sort of a bad thing. I don't know anything about the motherland. I don't know where I'm from, but Nigeria is supposed to be like this sort of successful hub of Africa. Um, so you would probably be doing great things over there. You'd probably be a tech CEO or soccer star. And you'd probably be the big thing over there.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Like having that knowledge of your background of your homeland. Like I feel like that's a great thing to have.
Mm.
So um, it may have been an empty threat, but it may have been something good to see to go back to your homeland and see how people live, how they exchange ideas, how they live their lives. Um, Luckily, you still have a chance to do that. Like
Sure.
time's on your side, so um, it's something you can experience. Obviously, it won't be your formative years where you uh, like build up your worldview and things like that, but you can still experience it. So that's something you have going for you.
Yeah. I mean, true. And that's what I'm obviously looking forward to. But I'm like, I feel like thinking about it now, it's like how much stuff went on during our childhood. I probably would have been horrified of America. Like, I mean, like, look at all the stuff that happened, like 9/11, and like, okay, college years when I've come back from during COVID stuff. Like, I don't know about that. Like, would I have, like, would I still have wanted to come back here? And I'm like, and then like, America don't like black people, no way. So why would I, why would I come back? So I'm like, it may have been actually a better move to just stay in Nigeria in the first place. Maybe he would have been sparing me all that struggle, low key. But yeah, I thought about that, and then just in general, like just how I mean, for one, I'd have super thick accent. You know, I'd be that would be. I mean, I could turn it on. You know, and say I could turn on the accents, but I would just have it naturally, and I would just be so good. So like that would be so like I would love to have that, and then just like you said, like just to be more just culturally aware of everything. And then I probably would know like Igbo, like our language, instead of not knowing but a few words. I would probably be like bilingual, which would be again preferred. I would like to know two languages. So yeah, I mean, it seems like it'd be a lot of perks, but I mean, again, I've watched a lot of kind of like different videos and podcasts and listened to some of those things and read some books and on kind of the experience there, and then especially for people that are around my age. And it is difficult. It's difficult. Like apparently, like dating there is like a whole weird thing, and like trying to like really boss up and like take these next steps. Everything's very like a lot of things are very political and like very who and it just makes it kind of difficult for people that aren't from like some really big social standing at times, depending on where you're at. Obviously in Nigeria, so it's like I just wonder like how much of that would I've been able to just overcome with strictly like grit and like determination, and like how much would have been limited, and then just like I said, how different I'd be culturally, and like just the way I act and the way I carry myself and things like that. Looks like there are some toxic traits that are associated at times with Nigerian masculinity, and I would not hope to pick some of that stuff up, but it would be cool to see and talk to that version of me, man. Like how was that? How was Nigeria growing up?
You said too at some point that like generally you feel this. Well, there's two things. One, you feel this like distance from your peers because of where you're from. Two, and like and I feel like we're expressing a hole you have that that culture needs to be filled in that regard too. So yeah, I wonder if similarly or you go like, would you be in Nigeria and feel like my American side, I need my American side, like
right, that's true,
like
that's true.
like where's my hamburgers?
Right.
I don't know, but
That's true.
or like soul food, right? It's like
Right, that's true.
I know.
That's true. They ain't no college. I mean, they probably
Right,
got college, but they ain't the same.
right.
You know what I'm
So it's
saying?
like, so yeah. I wonder.
Like, mac and cheese is not a thing in Nigeria. Like, at least it wasn't. I mean, it might be now. I don't know what it is now. At least it wasn't. Like, so it'd be a shift. Southern American to Nigerian would be a shift. But also that fusion food, if I became a chef or something, would be crazy. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. Got a second one for us, Robert?
I do not.
You don't?
No. Why would I set up for the second one, man? That was long. That was so long.
You're right. Drop
Yeah.
the mic. Don't you go back and ruin that good moment, that good taste you left in our bowels. No, did he?
These kids today.
I had to drop it, man. It's so funny to me. Oh my gosh. Anyway, how about you, Alonso?
I actually do have another one. Like I mentioned, football was a path for me because my coaches, they saw me like another alumnus of my high school who actually was a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. They saw a lot of me and him, or a lot of him and me. So they were like, Alonso, you could be the next big thing to come out of our school. And I kind of let that go to my head. I was like, of course, yeah, I can do this. I'm big and tall. I can play football. Why not? Let's go. So I played the offensive line and the defensive line. The player before me, his name was Levi Brown. He played offensive line. But I wanted to make my name on the defensive line. I want to become a sack artist and just take the quarterback down every chance I got. Um, so I want to meet the Alonzo that stuck with football, because the only reason I didn't stick with football in high school was because of the people. Like,
Mm.
I've said this before, but people irrationally hated me on the team for no reason. Like, um, I'm out there sweating with y'all. I'm out here shedding blood with y'all, and for some reason you hate me for no reason. Like, I some of these people I had never met before in my life until the football team. And I'm out here practicing. I have asthma. I'm running hard. I'm doing everything the coaches ask of me, and you just hate me for some reason. Like, I'm not getting special treatment. They said I look like Levi Brown, but I'm not getting special treatment or anything. So what's the problem? Like, I remember one time we were just running back to the huddle, and everybody was pressing up against me to push me through the huddle. So I pushed on somebody in front of me to get to the huddle, and this nigga looked back at me and said, "Don't you ever touch me again." I was like, "The fuck is wrong with you? Like, everybody else is pushing me. Why can't I push you back to the huddle? Why can't we just hustle all together?" And it rubbed me the wrong way. That was one of the first experiences I had where I noticed people didn't like me. Another time was after a game. We were walking in the line, shaking hands with the other team. A guy in front of me stopped and looked back at our team for some reason, and so I just slowed down walking. And somebody behind me was like, "Why are you walking slow? You don't care that we lost." I'm just like, I'm out here playing with y'all. Why wouldn't I care that we lost? I'm here doing all this work, and you're saying that I don't care. It really messed up my mind, and I could not handle being with those people anymore.
Right.
So that's why I quit football, even though I had a lot of fun with it. So I tried to get back into that NSU, but I was too poor because you had to pay money to actually to pay the NCAA to play. So I didn't have the money. So I was like, all right, I got a full ride scholarship. I'm just focused on that.
Yeah.
So I would wonder if there was an Alonzo that was able to, just deal with the people and play better than them and make it to the league and have generational wealth and have fun with football. I don't know. That's something I want to see.
There's definitely a football star Alonso, parallel universe, right? Like
100%.
100%. What the?
Like I said, he's not successful and happy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he got a white woman from Indiana that took his kidney.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's crazy. And you've mentioned this in the past about people just for some reason not liking you. I mean, we had stories about middle school too, them doing similarly. And I don't get it. And yeah, that's crazy. Especially on the thing that's supposed to be the most, camaraderie, right? Yeah. Like, you're supposed to, this is what it's for. This is the rest of it is you getting injured and hurt. You're smashing into each other. At least let me pat you on the back. Like, what the hell? That's crazy. But anyways, I would like to see that person. Would like to ask him for a small loan of $1 million.
You gonna meet both, buddy?
Me three.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that is, that we all had bad experiences in like middle school and at least part of high school, and it's just so ignorant how kids are at that age, and how for whatever reason it's just like any slight thing that makes you different. If it's height, if it's the way you talk, if it's your hair, if it's the way what you're into, if it's what, they'll find any reason to just not like you or mess with you. And it's like it's the same thing. And it's the same thing I always like bring up to people. It's like, instead of people always finding a reason not to like someone, why don't they ever find reasons to like people? Like, and that's what it was when we were like very small kids, right? When we were like, no one had problems in elementary school for real. Like, for the most part, like very few people had problems in elementary school because we found reasons to like each other, right? There's one thing you had in common, that was good enough. We were cool. Like, maybe we weren't best friends, but you were cool, right? And like, it's like in middle school, it's like all of that changed for some reason. Like, people are just looking for all this stuff and all these reasons to exclude, and all these reasons to pick on, all the reasons to mess with you. And it's like, it's just crazy. And I think that's probably what happened. It's just like people are like, oh, this guy's tall and he has, physical gifts. So I don't have them, and I don't like that he's different, and so I'm gonna mess with it, and I'm gonna treat him bad because he's different, and that's unfortunate. That it got to the point where it made you want to quit the sport because that's not what it should be. Because especially a team sport, like that is the most important part. And who knows how many people are out here like you who had similar experiences in basketball and soccer and whatever else. Because I mean, all these team sports, right? And you just get excluded for whatever reason. And I mean, I had bad experiences even in soccer where like but luckily it was like it was more isolated where like the first time I was ever called the N word was at a soccer camp
Mm.
and by a little white kid because I was defending him playing soccer, and I'm just like what like and it's just like but again, so the lucky part of that is before I even had a chance to say anything there was other kids around me, and credit to them, a lot of them were white because it's soccer in America, a lot of white kids, and they stood up and said and got on this dude before I even got a chance to say anything, and thankful for that because that could have got could have went very south because I did not have a good temperament when I was young, and I probably would have popped that kid in the next week. so so that would have been that could have been a whole other life for me. Who knows that by itself. So I think that that just frustrates me so much when something that like sports brings me peace too. Like soccer brings me peace. Honestly, like that might be the one thing where like I do that and like I don't think about the world. I'm just doing that, and I hate that people get that taken from them in any capacity for whatever it is because other people you know don't approve of you being there or you doing that. Like that is the dumbest ish that about the world for me is that someone will take away someone else's peace and someone else's happiness because they don't approve or think it's worthy for them. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with you. If you don't like it, just don't say anything at all. And I'd rather you do that than drive someone out of something that they're enjoying and that they love, especially if they're not doing anything to actually hurt you. That's one thing Alonzo, threw this dude to the ground, right? But a tap on the back doesn't justify that for, especially for a football player. And I was Alonzo, I'd be like, stop being soft. And kept on moving. But I get it, man. And it's difficult when you're a kid to like try and push past that stuff. And those are formative years. And so that just sucks. But 100%, I would love to see that version of Alonzo, and I think he would be a happy and successful version.
Mhm.
But I would love for him to share that with you himself. So if we ever get that timeline opportunity, which one to bring. But I guess I'll go with my second one, second and last, and my second one. I actually thought about that. I could change it. I thought it was today, and I said, you know, frequently on social media and even just talking to each other, we talk about the world we're living in right now. I talked about like all the stuff that's been on with COVID 9/11, all these riots, all the stuff going on, and we say frequently we're in the worst timeline, right? So I'm like, I wonder, are we in the worst timeline? I want to talk to the Matthew from the actual worst timeline, and you tell me what it is. Now, I would be tripping out if I said that, right? And then the one that popped up in front of me is just a mirror. You in it, man. I told you. Like, you in the worst timeline, man. My bad, dude. Good luck. But again, I'd like to know because at least I'd be like, all right, if there's even one timeline worse, like okay, at least I ain't in the worst one. But if I'm there stuck like the Spider-Man meme, then it is what it is. I guess at least I know I'm doing all right in the worst timeline. I'll make the best out of it. But at least I know now that at least okay, I'm not struggling because I'm trash. I'm struggling because this timeline is actual garbage. Like okay, fair enough. So I thought that would be just the most interesting. And if there is a worse one, I'm like, yo, how bad is that ish? Like, did we get a zombie apocalypse instead of a COVID virus? Did AI take over and just go nuts? What happened to make it the actual worst timeline? And like, how are you surviving? Are you like, Dragon Ball Z where Goku died, our heroes died, right? And and now my sensei has one arm, and that's how I'm trying to survive right now. Like, what are we doing? That's what I want to know. And I just want to know how it will be. How is he surviving? Is he surviving? What's happening? So that would be my thing is what's the actual worst timeline? And let's explore that and see what it's about. Actually, no, don't not explore it. I just want to see what it's about. You can keep it. But I just want to know how it is and then like what's going on to make it so terrible. If it's not this one.
Yeah, imagine that. I don't know. I don't know what that would give me. Would that give me like would that make me inspired that like, oh, through the worst I am this, or would it make me even more pessimistic and like, oh, we're rock bottom. I'm literally the worst,
in the worst situation of all.
Right. Like, and then like in the every event from then on, I'd just be like, all right, of course, we're the worst timeline. Of course, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. The worst timeline is.
Of course. What? I feel I broke my leg. Of course. I mean, worst timeline. But yeah, I don't know that I do like that too though. That like, yeah, imagine, yeah, or even the flip side of it, right? Like the best timeline, and like like what truly made that the best timeline? It was just like, oh, like imagine for right like Alonso, if it's like if it's just not putting so many shitty people around you, you know what I mean? Like like just you know what I mean? Like if it just so happened that you path in front of two more positive people than negative people that just turned your life into this really, like, is that all it would take? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, the best timeline. He just, happened to not been told to shut the fuck up in football. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, right. And that's it. Best timeline. Like, that would be crazy if that's all it took was something so small. It's like, Robert, yeah, your best timeline was you not messaging that person, not losing your kidney. That's definitely my worst timeline. It's me.
100%.
Worst timeline, but best timeline, in terms of like
Stop it.
Stories. Best stories in that timeline is in the worst timeline.
Man, it's shoveled in a corner, just
yeah.
Okay.
I got stories to tell. I got stories.
Just give me a little bit of that, and I got some stories for
you. Chat rooms, chat. Crosswire,
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord. Wouldn't the worst timeline like for everyone be like, I don't know, untimely heat death of the universe?
Probably.
But I don't know. Is a quick death worse than a you know what I mean?
Slow, painful
than a slow burn. Yeah. I feel like a quick death isn't worse. That's what I was thinking too at first. I was like, what if my worst like timeline is just like, oh, Robert, you fell off your bike and broke your neck and died when you were like like 10. Damn. Worst timeline.
It's hilarious.
Worst timeline.
It's not funny, but it's hilarious. That's great.
Like, he slipped on a banana peel and broke his neck. Okay. Worst timeline. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I thought about doing best timeline, but I was like, I don't want that depression,
Right?
right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man,
I
I'm
do get that
chilling,
too, though.
dude. You should have bet on me. You should put in that Bitcoin when you had the chance, man. I don't know what's up with you. Like, yeah, that's on you, man. Told you put all that bank on Google. Like, like,
Right.
yeah, like legitimately, like, or if it's like literally like, oh yeah, you shouldn't have picked up that quarter because you bending down to pick up that quarter, you missed your interaction with the person that's gonna make you a billionaire. They walked right by you. It's like, for a quarter. Like, can I give it back? Like, man, I would be livid.
Like best timeline me is the most arrogant person I probably ever
100%.
meet in my life.
100%. 100%.
What, you didn't
He
do
meets
that?
me. He's like,
why didn't you do that? What? Why
look
didn't
at
you
this guy.
invest? Why didn't you invest?
Are you even
Everyone was
me?
talking about Bitcoin, and you didn't invest. So you fucking stupid. Like, what is? I had
Are
no
you
money.
even me? Are you even me though? Because I can't be like, I can't be this dumb. I can't be you. Look at you and look at me. That can't be me. Like, I imagine just getting crapped on by yourself, man. No, man, I can't. That's bull. I'd be so bad. You can't say anything. You can't say anything because they're an actual better you. They're actually better. You can't
Like,
say crap.
You're right. You're right as fuck.
Hey, nothing you can do about it, Jigga. I want to switch places with Jigga right now. How can I drag him to my timeline and I go into his? Link click this Jigga. Like, man, that's why I didn't want to pick best. Because I was like, I don't need the envy and FOMO of seeing best timeline and knowing I can't achieve it anymore. No. Full Nigerian accent soccer player me.
Yeah.
Friends chilling at Ronaldo's yacht party. No. I don't need that life, man. I don't need to see that. I don't need that frustration. Just the rest of my life, I'm biting my lip. No, I don't want it. Mm-mm. Ignorance is bliss. That's our policy here, Procrastination Podcast. But, one thing we're never wasted. It's extra time.
All right, everybody, you're in for a well of an extra time. How about that? Yeah, I forgot the whistle. Oh, Lord.
It's fine.
So it's been a while since we last talked. But in case you missed it, they had the college men's and women's basketball tournaments, the NCAA tournament. On the men's side, the University of Connecticut took down the men's college basketball player of the year, Zach Edey, and Purdue University to win their second consecutive title. On the women's side, the University of South Carolina took down the women's college basketball player of the year, Caitlin Clark, and the University of Iowa to complete an undefeated season. So congrats to both teams. Those kids got their time to shine. And even though for some, this may be the last time they play basketball, they can use their degrees to move on into the working world. I just want to say to all of them, you did a great job. So congratulations to them. Speaking of moving on, the women's college basketball tournament was staffed with great players from the aforementioned Caitlin Clark to champion Camila Cardoso to last year's champion and household name Angel Reese of LSU. All three of those players declared for the WNBA draft, which recently took place, and all three got drafted. Caitlin Clark was the unsurprising number one overall pick for the Indiana Fever. Going back to Indiana again. Oh, Lord. The white woman going there. While both Cardoso and Reese got drafted by the Chicago Sky to form a formidable front court in Chicago. So the WNBA season kicks off soon. And I'm sure a lot of eyes will be on these great women as they try to change perspectives and win a title. Speaking of Caitlin Clark, news is coming out that she may be signing an 8-figure deal with Nike. It may be an 8-year, $28 million contract with Nike with a signature shoe and everything. Obviously, crazy. The highest for a woman player. So that's definitely changed the game. So good luck to all of them. WNBA may be getting started soon, but the NBA is in the thick of the playoffs with the first round having kicked off. Already a litany of exciting games have taken place as the Denver Nuggets and all-world player Nikola Jokic try to repeat as champions. They'll have a tough time as young players and teams try to make a name for themselves by knocking teams off. So like there's the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics. They're all trying to knock off the Denver Nuggets for the championships. I'm rooting for the Timberwolves to make it to make some noise because I've been a long time fan. Been a fan since the Kevin Garnett days. So I'm hoping for them to play well. But yeah, it's the playoffs. You leave it all on the line. There's been some crazy finishes already. So if you have a chance, check it out. It's going to be a good time. And finally, this is old news, but still shocking nonetheless. But new Los Angeles Dodgers player and two-time MVP Shohei Ohtani, a baseball unicorn, was embroiled in controversy as the MLB season kicked off. Shohei, who is Japanese, had been working with a longtime English translator and personal friend named Ippei Mizuhara. Well, it came out that Mizuhara had been dealing with an illegal bookie to make bets and that he had stolen more than $16 million from Ohtani to pay off debts to the bookie, which totaled more than $40 million.
Crazy.
ESPN had obtained text messages that painted Mizuhara as a gambling addict who appeared to use his knowledge of English in America to siphon money from Ohtani to try and pay off the debt. It even came out from the text that the bookie threatened to approach Ohtani himself. There's a lot of weird stuff with the story, but as it stands now, Mizuhara has turned himself into authorities for a charge of bank fraud, which can carry a maximum fine of $1 million and or up to 30 years in prison. Now, I don't want to get into all the conspiracy theories surrounding this case, but I do want to get your opinions on if gambling should once again be illegal in the U.S. We've seen an explosion of states allowing sports betting and sports betting being integrated into sports broadcasts, which annoys me a lot. But in my opinion, this is the opening of a sports dam that's only going to hurt people. This may be hypocritical on my part, as I have the opposite stance on drugs, but I think being afflicted with a betting addiction can be just as bad as a drug addiction and affects more people. So I don't know what the right answer is, but what do you all think?
Yeah, yeah. Sports betting. I don't know. I don't get it at all. Like, I don't know. I don't get losing money at all. I don't know.
Right.
I've been poor I was poor for a long time. So I built a mindset of, you know, money that like I can't bet my money because that's the only money I have. you know? So I never feel like I have money to lose. And when anyone's talking about betting, that's what they're talking about. It's like, all right, don't play with money you're not willing to lose. But I've seen some people too. Like recently, my mom ended up going to a casino for her birthday, and they were spending so much money there. Like it was crazy. It was insane. Like like we went before and they gave you the same like promotional card thing.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you spend that, whatever. And then like my cousin like who should be saving money right now, I put it that way, and she goes in there, she spends a promotional card. She gets like the most the promotional card can get, whatever it was, like $25, like $50, whatever. She goes, spends it, immediately loses it, right? And I'm like, and then she's like, well, okay, I'm just gonna go get $20 and put that in there or whatever. And then she goes, puts some more money on the card, and then after that, she says, she says, I tried to put my debit card in the machine, but it didn't work. And I was like, no, this is exactly
Oh
what I
my
don't
gosh.
want. Like that's
That's
crazy to
crazy.
me, and it's
That's nuts.
that addicting. It's that addicting, instantly. I don't know if she's ever been like to a casino before, so I was like instantly for her, and I'm like, no. Yeah. There's no easy way to regulate it, and if there's no easy way to truly regulate when people are like, hey, I gotta, like for an alcoholic, you can at least be like, all right, I think you've had too much,
Right.
But what do you do for a
Right.
gambler who's like, all right, that's your mortgage, you know what I mean? Like you have to
Right.
freeze at some
Right.
point. So like, if you can't regulate it, yeah, I'm with you. Get rid of that shit.
Right. I don't like Mizuhara's anyway, thanks to rental girlfriend. So so I mean, boo to him, and that's when you get to go to jail because you is a grimy jigger for that. Doing that to your friend because he could have got any translator. He picked you, and your bummy head wanted to go ahead and try and do him in. That's dirty as free. And he tried to slander that man too, low key at the end, try to get him dragged down. That's some grimy ish, man. He could have left you in Japan. Like how many translators would want to be Shohei Otani's translator? A lot. A lot of people. I would learn Japanese just to be his translator. Like, well that job probably pays. Like, come on, dude. Like, the fact that you're 40 million in debt is insane. No sane, and I mean insane. No sane person goes 40 million in debt, right? No sane person. So for one, that bookie is grimy, but obviously he's sketchy because he let him do that. But he's a bookie. He obviously ain't a great person. No offense to bookies, but they obviously don't care about your life. so I'm like, yeah, it's been a hot topic in soccer too about like I know y'all don't watch much of it, but like it's been a hot topic with like getting rid of betting sponsors in soccer on the front of shirts. Like it's the sponsors. Some leagues have banned it, some leagues have not. It's a big thing in England. It's supposed to be banning it in like 2 years or something like that. Unfortunately, my favorite team does have a betting sponsor, and it does annoy me and a lot of the fans. And it's obnoxious, but yeah, because of the same things, and like Robert said, I think you put it well when you said like there's no good, that's not a good regulation of it right now. And yeah, I think like certain things. Okay, for example, like your credit, they don't just let you keep getting in credit card debt. They don't keep giving you credit cards, right? You can't keep getting them if you're in debt, right? So why do you allow them to keep betting if they're already in ridiculous? They're not winning. They're not in ridiculous debt from this betting. You should be able to cut them off, right? Or at least be like a limit to their spending, or like to even apply for the card, you got to like put in like your salary or something like that. So they could be like, okay, this percentage of whatever is what you get. Yeah, people could lie on that, but still, it's something preventative, right? Something in place, and yeah, I don't think it would go over well getting rid of it completely, but slowly phasing it out might work better. I don't understand why they tried to bring sports betting so far to the forefront, as if these companies don't already make, as far as like when I say companies, I'm talking about the teams themselves, because they're the ones, and the leagues, because they're the ones pushing it forward now, aren't making multi-millions. Like, you don't need this money. So now you're just getting dirty money, essentially, in my opinion, when you're already making plenty. But it's greed. The greed is the whole root of all of it, right? So it's like greed is the reason that they're promoting the whole betting thing now anyway. And the reason people are betting is because of greed. They want more money and they want to get it easily. They don't want to have to work hard for it. And it's easy to click 10 on red, put 10 on red, or to click parlay, this jig going to score 35, this guy going to get 10 rebounds, whatever, and they're going to win the game by 15. It's easy to put that. And again, with virtual money, everything feels more like a game, right? It doesn't feel like you're spending money when it's just tapping. And so doing all that as a perfect combination just makes it feel like this surreal experience that's like can reward you greatly, but they don't see or feel the negatives a lot of the times, unless you're a person like me and Robert and Alonzo, where you're just like, not my money, we're not doing that. Like, and I told you, because we talked about this earlier today. I was like, I don't like spending money to make money. Like, I don't like that trade off, especially if it's not certain money. If it is certain money, sure. Like, I guarantee this is gonna, this degree will lead to this paycheck. Okay, that's a certain money as long as I do the degree stuff, right? If I can't get that guarantee that this guarantee will lead to more money, I'm not gonna do it. But most people aren't like that because, again, the appeal of quick, easy money is just too alluring. It's like anything else that's quick and easy and desirable. Why wouldn't you go for it?
And if they keep making money, they can keep shouting their names out, right? So it's like
Right.
FanDuel, FanDuel, FanDuel. It's like, yeah, okay, well, now if more people bet, then more money they make, and then like, well, then that you know they can just they can keep lobbying for them to keep being able to do all that stuff, right? It's like, okay, well, anyways.
Worst timeline.
Worst timeline. Yes. That is yeah.
And with that, we will wrap this up. And hopefully, we made your terrible timeline a little bit better.
Mm.
But if we didn't, give us a chance next time. And if you see us at Ocean City, say something to us.
Mm.
Right? We don't bite. And we're going to ask you some questions. Don't be scared. All right,
I
y'all.
do got
Appreciate
one
you taking
last
the.
thing.
Oh.
Our friend Matt recently passed something. He recently became the greatest of all time. So, congrats to Matthew. He did it big. I don't know if you wanna talk about it, Matt, but yeah.
I mean, it's like I said. I don't like wasting money. I put money to get to this career field, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure that I get what I came here for, and I have done that, and I'm proud. If I was talking to, I think I was mentioning this to Robert this past week. I was like, or maybe Elizabeth, I don't remember. So I was talking to somebody about this, and I was saying, like, if I could talk to the me that was like in middle school dealing with all that bull crap and tell him like, hey, yo, we about to overcome some crazy ish to get this degree, get this money. You're gonna be surprised. I mean, he probably wouldn't believe it, and it's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been like 11 plus years in the making. Really, honestly, more like 18 years in the making, and like, dude, the fact it's coming, it's almost a surreal experience that is coming to an end, but in the best way possible. So I'm proud of myself. At the end of the day, if I died today, I can say that I at the very least I can be proud of myself and what I've accomplished. And sticking with something that was, I mean, I want to quit so much. But it's worth it. The things that you feel like they're meant for you and that you really really want, just keep pushing for it and make sure it happens, because there's a greater reward at the end of it, and sometimes you just have to go through some long suffering for it, but it's worth it in the end. As long as you get to the destination, it's always something you're going through, not something you're staying in the midst of. So yeah, glad I did it. Thank you guys, appreciate y'all. But yeah, I don't know if y'all stayed for that part, but if you did, thank you. And if you really want to say thank you and appreciate the things that we've talked about, and really want to show me some love, you subscribe to this page, you go to the Instagram, you follow the Instagram, and you interact with us, talk to us, comment, subscribe, all those things. Let us know what you want to talk about, what you want us to talk about. If you want to be on here, let us know. Talk to us, man. Please. No, really though. But we appreciate you always and always. Thanks for procrastinating with us. We out.